Welcome to Pyjama Astrology. We're trying something different for the new year. Long form PJ Astro. We'll see how it goes, see what this turns into. You can read more in the show notes about why Pyjama Astrology was created and why it's important. But for now, we're going to get into the astrology of the first few weeks of January. So let's do it. We kick off in January having two direct stations. So Jupiter goes direct on December 30th, direct in Taurus, and then Mercury goes direct in Sagittarius. And within like the same chunk of time, the 3 days. And 3 days is like an orb I like to use to look at significance of planets. And so with the Jupiter going direct and then Mercury in Sagittarius direct, there's a little bit of a connection there. So Jupiter traditionally rules Sagittarius, so we want to connect these planets and look at the significance. And what's really great about this is that Mercury retrograde through Sagittarius could have stifled our connection or messages connecting us with independence. It could be stifling our expansion, like thinking or doubting ourselves more. That's why around the new year there was so many messages about like, no, just keep going, like don't let other people intimidate you and stuff like that. I saw certain messages held a little bit more like trust your voice this year, and that's why, because Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius around this time was giving us some road bumps or challenges in terms of speaking up for ourselves or sticking with a path that we knew was right for us and our dreams and our personal growth. So kicking the year off with these two direct motions really shows that 2024 is going to be an important year for our personal growth, for communication for a lot of people as well. Now, if you have fire placements or earth placements, like strong, depending your sun, moon, and rising, or just strong placements that you're working with and paying attention to in Sagittarius or Taurus, these can help further that theme in your life along, whatever houses are ruled by Sagittarius and Taurus. But you also want to think about where your other fire signs or earth placements, because these would be operating within a trine to some of these connections, either a trine or a square, because earth and fire signs are square to each other. So it does represent that if you are comparing fire and earth placements to the transits, there's squares, there's trials, there's obstacles, discomfort. And if you're comparing earth and earth or fire and fire, then there's ease. So there's such a unique combination of ease and trouble. So this is where I would encourage everyone to pay attention to messages of, while we have Venus and Mercury in Sagittarius, the first part of the season, just trusting ourselves, trusting the process. Venus has entered Sagittarius on the 30th, so this really helps us enter the first few weeks of January with, hey, trust yourself, trust expansion, ease into expansion. Don't try to control everything as much. Sagittarius is a sign that helps connect us with freedom, trusting the process, trusting our faith and spirituality as well. So it is Pyjama Astro. I am having a coffee. Hopefully the slurping noises aren't too loud. This is a good mic. It could pick it up. So maybe I'll put like a warning. Drinking coffee during this video. Now, another big thing that happens, January 4th, Mars enters Capricorn. And I'm obsessed with this. I love when planets move into the sign that the sun is in. So let me just forward the chart I'm looking at here so we can get into it a little bit better. So Mercury and Mars have been kind of buddies. They've been within 8 degrees of each other consistently since December 26th at the very least. So they're still within that 8-degree orb of each other now that Mercury's going direct. And when Mars enters Capricorn, this is the furthest apart they are for a while. So we have Mercury in Sagittarius, which is what I had talked about previously, and now Mars enters a different sign. So Mars previously being in Sagittarius really calls us into that, yeah, like fierce independence and like, let's get shit done. Why am I not doing enough? What can I do to expand, and can be tough on ourselves. But Mars moving into Capricorn, an earth sign, gives it a little bit more practicality, which is why sometimes it can be like practical but also like overbearing. So just watch yourselves. If you want to cut off that negative thinking, this transit is a great way to switch your thinking to the archetype of like the kind mother, or understanding CEO, understanding boss, and use that energy to help you be motivated and create action that is in your highest good, that is practical, that is balanced. Earth signs want you to be grounded in reality, but also understanding that you're working hard for something that isn't in earth form yet, isn't fully formed yet. Thinking of like earth as a tree and being, or whatever plant, starting under the ground and coming up. So Mars in Capricorn, the last earth sign of the zodiac, is really, really powerful when it comes to like getting some of these big goals properly foundationed, properly in that undergrowth stage. And so this can solidify a lot of goals as we enter or continue through Capricorn season. So Mars enters Capricorn in mid Capricorn season, January 5th, and then we get all of January with Mars in Capricorn, which is great. Like, I love it. The next main transit in these 2 weeks is going to be the new moon in Capricorn. So again, solidifying these things. So those are the main things to think about as we enter January. And it really is about goal setting. Like I always say, that the new year lines up perfectly because Capricorn season and any transits that connect to the sun in Capricorn help us identify ways that our goals, or how we're feeling about goal setting and stuff like that, come into play. Let's see, is there anything else dramatic? That new moon is also going to be alarmingly close to Pluto, so that is something to think about. Pluto is at 29 degrees Sagittarius, so we want to, like, that's where the theme of just consistent change. Yeah, the new moon's going to be within conjunction with an 8-degree orb of Pluto, so really connecting emotionally to change, recognizing what greater transformation you want to have within your own life, but also within the world. So thinking about your greater values, like values of like what you're consuming, what you're saying to the world through the content or the things you purchase. Keeping that in mind throughout the new moon as well.